Today, I just want to go back and revisit why one of South Africa's most successful, effective investigative team was shut down by Senzo Mchunu. Why the official line doesn't add up.
This is a political task team in SAPS, and don't equate it to policing, overall policing in South Africa, to make me feel guilty that I didn't consult on the team specifically in the day, in a dedicated manner in a day. Don't make me feel guilty, because I'm not guilty for that. There are many other things that I needed to do and that I would do that would involve everybody and so on. So, and there are many things that I discussed which are fundamental, which involved everybody. So don't create an impression that I don't consult, even though I show evidence that Minister, I do consult.
Sorry to interrupt.
And we did have meetings.
I didn't create any impression.
I'm happy with that.
A question. I put something to you, and then I asked you a question. I put to you that there's no indication from you, either in writing or in your oral evidence, that you ever consulted, and you haven't, still in your response now, you haven't mentioned the interministerial committee.
So, according to the former police minister of police, Bheki Cele, he gave a testimony of a meeting with Vusimuzi Matlala, who came to see him about two things. One was the false statement that he was asked to make against the police after they raided his home. The false statement that they stole his jewelry and the Rolex. And he also wanted to speak to Bheki Cele about the project that Senzo Mchunu and Mogotsi want him to be engaged with. And the project would be to try and fund Senzo Mchunu's ambition to become a deputy ANC president or ANC president, one of those two. All right, so with the money that he had won from the contract, the SAPS contract. And Matlala did not want to be part of this. He was concerned about making this false claim, false affidavit against the police, because he didn't want to sabotage his relationship with the police, especially the head of intelligence, Khumalo, because this false claim was targeted at General Dumisani Khumalo, the head of Crime Intelligence, who actually at the time was leading the PKTT team, the leader of the PKTT team. So the PKT team raided Matlala's house early December, the 6th of December, or 5th or 6th of December, early December. So through that raid, they wanted him to actually go and make false affidavit against the police to allege that the police had stolen the Rolex and jewelry. But Matlala wasn't happy about making those false statements. So then he consulted with the former police minister, Bheki Cele, who is also part of the ANC group. And then, Bheki Cele told that story in his testimony, all right? So I'll just play a little bit of a clip of Bheki Cele being questioned about this affidavit, and we're going to move on to the next clip.
No, thanks, Chair. No, just very briefly, General, was this Rolex and the jewelry stolen or not? So was the affidavit that Matlala deposed fake? Did he lie under oath? Because when you depose an affidavit, you make an affirmation under oath. So was the jewelry and the Rolex stolen regardless of who stole it? Or in your interpretation or understanding of the issues, he deposed a fake affidavit? Thank you.
No, I remember him very well saying there was no Rolex stolen from him. I remember him saying so. That's why he raised the issue of him being. But the issue was that they had to find the way of dealing with Khumalo. That's why I always think that even the arrest of Khumalo at the later stage has got issues. They started some time trying to arrest Khumalo some time back.
On the 31st of December 2024, Minister Senzo Mchunu issued that letter to disband the Political Killing Task Team, PKTT, the most successful investigative team, was suddenly told to stop immediately, stop investigating immediately, through a letter, without consultation, without even discussing it with the president. Yes. And he later tried to spin it and say it's about resources, about distributing resources equitable across the country. But that argument doesn't stick, folks. It doesn't stick when you consider the evidence that so far we've heard from Madlanga Commission. From Madlanga Commission, it now points to a retaliation.
Because today I sent this message now I'm going to make an affidavit. You must go to Mogotsi on my phone. You see, I told them I'm going to administer on my affidavit. I'm going to High Court on Friday. I was supposed to go on Friday. Which Friday? This coming Friday.
Witness C, please identify the male voice that just interjected there with a question.
Thank you. It was Mr. Matlala, and the other voice, it was my voice as witness C.
I got after getting Minister what he did, I have instruction on my cancel my contract. So I would go meeting general really meeting but instruction on cancel the contract. So and then after that I will send that letter. But later I obviously to manage the financial for a contract based on this thing. But it's illegal. But okay, before I can even go Gadi merit start a contract. I'm going to mention what you guys, I was busy, you'll see this day. You'll see Mogotsi. I started this morning actually. Yeah, you see. No, I'm saying I was talking to Mogotsi. I was telling Mogotsi what I'm going to put on the affidavit. Affidavit, I'm going to put it. I was supposed to put it tomorrow, and then Friday it was supposed to go to High Court. So they will do it on my behalf. But I'm going to put Minister there and then incriminate him. This is what he did. So that our now is playing dirty because he cannot force me to do something about them to wrong.
Witness C, are you able to summarize the content of the clip, including the portions that were in vernacular, please?
Thank you, Commissioners. There, in summary, it is where Mr. Matlala has indicated that in the morning of his arrest, he had written to Mogotsi, informing him that he's going to make an affidavit at the High Court, and also that he was going to implicate the minister because of his criminality, because the minister, after he had refused to open a case against the team or the police, then the minister cancelled his contract with the SAPS. He has instructed General Dumisani to cancel the contract.
Witness C, we're about to play the first clip. It relates to the subheading Minister Mchunu.
Thank you, Commissioners.
The minister rest of us by this thing. So I know it's
but now, what's the contract? Whereas you have just told us for it, you funded it.
yes.
we know that when Matlala refused from this clip at Madlanga Commission, the Minister Senzo Mchunu, when Matlala refused the instruction to make this false statement against Dumisani Khumalo, the target to make a false accusation of Rolex being stolen, the target was Dumisani Khumalo, General, the head of Crime Intelligence. That person, what this whole thing, the target is Dumisani Khumalo. So when Matlala refused, Senzo Mchunu turned to Fadiel Adams and DA MP Dana Kohler Barnard with IDEC's help. Yes, IDEC help. How they did it was that Fadel Adam made complaints, and the complaint was really sinister. It was based on the classified information that he claimed at the time that he just woke up in the morning. There was a document put under his door, his front door. When he opened it, the document was saying all the stuff about crime intelligence. And the very same document had been discussed before that it was nothing. And they had consulted with him and told him, no, your complaint is a nothing bagger, mate. Stop this nonsense. All right. But we know that later the very same sentiment, the very same context of that issue was then re-edited through the advice from the IDEC and reshaped in a way that makes Khumalo look corrupt. Yes, it was fast, it was a stitch up, all right, complaint. It really appeared that it was a cross-party accountability. Now we have an independent MP, Fadel Adams. We have also Dan Kohler from the DA, also propagating the very same sentiment, the very same dangerous narrative that the crime intelligence boasts. Dumisani Khumalo is very corrupt, including Paulo Silverman, including all of them, the Mary D. Haas, including all this group, came in and propagating and used the media. But in reality, they actually legitimize a political takedown, this whole thing. It legitimized a political takedown. All right, let's listen to the clip again.
We're about to play the first clip. It relates to the subheading Minister Mchunu.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Minister, rest of us by this thing. So I know it's
But now, what's the contractor? Whereas you've just told us for it, you funded it.
yes.
The flight and stuff.
Yes, meaning he's biting me from one room against my island. That's why I didn't get it. I was in to give it a lamb. I my phone. You can open it and see. I'm going to get a gig in waiting today to Brown Hotel. Stay say this to the minister. So I did that January 8th. Even on my bank statements, I think you'll see them. I hope that they come back again.
Okay?
My bank statements, you see, I hope that they come back. The flight, the accommodation, I give them money or entertainment. All those things.
You give them how? Cash or you
No, they will give how, not just it was a gift to this company with a Khawla. If you see a company called Khawla, you can be very excited to take money.
Khawla?
Yeah, something Khawla is just one.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's a name of a company.
Yeah. The right company.
It's a
Khawla, PTY, or what?
I didn't pay attention to those things.
So when if Cele to patela through your then
Witness C?
Yes, Commissioners.
Witness C, were you able to hear the recording? Was it audible on your side?
Yes. Yeah, it was audible on my side, Commissioners.
Please don't explain what it says. Let's just continue, and where we have questions, we'll put questions. And those parts that are not in English, I assume we'll get translation.
Translation for them, indeed, Chair.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Not all of us speak Setswana. Some of us do.
Witness C, thank you for confirming that.
Witness C, can you tell us who are speaking there?
Thank you, Commissioners. There will be me, Witness C, and Witness B, and Witness A, and Mr. Matlala.
Thank you, Witness C. What was the question posed to Mr. Matlala? What was the subject matter of the issue being discussed there?
The subject matter there was the issue pertaining the funding of Mchunu on pertaining the January 8 for his delegates to Cape Town.
And what did Mr. Matlala indicate in the clip that he specifically funded for January 8?
That he had paid for the accommodation, flights, and entertainment. And the bank, his bank account can show that.
Thank you, Witness C. And the contents of this clip then accord to your earlier evidence as presented about the funding by Mr. Matlala for the January 8 delegates?
Can you repeat that, please?
Not a problem. Does the excerpt of the recording accord or is consistent with the testimony that you gave earlier about the funding that Mr. Matlala gave for the January 8 conference?
That is correct, sir. It corresponds.
So Vusimuzi Matlala had a contract at a time that it was worth 365 million rands, the SAPS wellness contract. And as you've heard from this clip from Madlanga Commission, that he confessed that he paid nearly 500,000 rand towards Senzo Mchunu's delegates at the ANC event in Cape Town, January 8, 2025. Well, around that same time, he confessed that Senzo Mchunu was positioning himself for the ANC presidency and deputy presidency. Then in April 2025, the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile's convoy was attacked. There is no verifiable evidence linking Vusimuzi Matlala or Senzo Mchunu to that event, but the timing raises serious questions about power struggle inside the ANC.
To this company with the Khawla, if you see a company called Khawla, you can be very excited to take money. Khawla? Yeah, something Khawla is Kistwan.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's a name of a company.
Yeah. Grand company.
It's a
Khawla, PTY, or what?
I didn't pay attention to those things.
so when if
Thank you, Witness C. We heard a voice that you identified as Mr. Matlala make specific mention of a company called Khawla. Can you confirm that you heard that?
That is correct, I heard that.
And then please inform the Commission of the role that he says this bank account played in the issue of financial support.
That is the company that Mr. Matlala will make payments through to his bank account.
And this account was then used in support of the delegates for the January 8 conference. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And a final question on this score, Witness C. What is the relevance of the bank statement that Mr. Matlala referred to in the recording?
It is that should we go on to the bank statements, then we will get those payments for the flight tickets and the accommodation.
So here's what we know for sure so far. A minister ordered a false affidavit using one of the alleged Big Five cartels who happened to have a contract with the police, the SAPS. And this person refused and was punished. The contract was cancelled. The allies of the minister, the marriage has a positive man of Brian Kohler, the Fadiel Adams, they spread this lie. And then what happened is that an honest, hardworking crime intelligence officer was purged, and an entire investigative team disappeared. So, as South Africans, we deserve answers. Who authorized the contract? Who approved the delegates' payment? And why truth had to die for politics to survive?